Thank you for stopping by Mind Drops, Mind Drops. Where my mind's drops, get out. One today is all about the fairy fighter. He's about 5 centimeters tall, about 3 hours, sculpt time, bone out. Oh, we did it. The two-part epoxy putty called Procreate. Okay. First time I ever used it. Up make cell phone holder thing. Towel. In the very beginning, it didn't stick to the armature, so I had to scuff it up some. It kind of wasn't too bad to do. I just went around a little bit with the needle nose pliers, and then small layers ended up staying on the frame, so it wasn't so bad. So my time lapses are taken from streams that I do on a weekly basis, usually about 3 days a week. Take the videos that I do from streaming and edit them together to make this video so I can share it in a shorter amount of time than what it would take to do the actual stream. Yep, just small layers. Keep on doing small layers. It seems like it's the way to go with this putty. It can stick to itself pretty good. And keep on doing small layers. The thing connected to the end of the wooden dowel is like a phone dashboard connector. also the same thing. Use thin strips and layers spread out. Try to cover it up evenly. Make it look like he's wearing a jacket of some sort. Since this was my first guy, I wasn't too keen on doing a face this small, but I guess, you know, it is what it is, and I just kind of stuck with how it turned out. But for only being 5 centimeters tall, I still was pleased with how it turned out. Use thin strips and tubes to create the detail for the clothing around his waist and his like strap going across his chest. Kind of gave it a look like there was clothes on. The little tubes really helped blending it all together. Hard time making a face for it, being the size and everything. Never really worked on a model that was this small, so when I was doing the face, it kind of just made it simple, not very great. So I kind of decided to cover it with a hood. Figured if I put a hood on it, it would make him look a little bit better, so you really can't see the face as much, but it really didn't. Kind of comical how it turned out, but whatever. Figured his jacket needed to hang down, have it look like a cloak or something like that. Figured it would made him look more like the character that he is. Looks like it's folded cloth. Also, he needed to have a little bit more detail in that face of his because it's so magnificent. But either way, the clothes turned out pretty good. And then he's got to have a wand in his hand also. Got to be able to show that he has magic skills of some sort. Yeah, the wings were tough. I didn't know exactly how I was going to go about getting them on there. So I decided to fill up armature with some of the putty to make sure that there was something there to grab onto a little bit better for the wing, which it seemed like it ended up being the right process for it. I think next time I would make the wings separate and make them be on already hardened. I think that would make it a little bit easier to make them adhere to it, have them sit the way I'd like them to sit. Once I figured out the exact way I wanted the wings to get on here, then I realized I needed to have them be propped up with the wire to kind of get them to stay where I wanted. First attempt, no, didn't work. So I decided to go on with putting the other wings together. Once I get the other wings on there, I decided to put a wire holding up from the bottom of the little armature holder. That seemed to be the best way to do that. Ended up turning out alright. Yeah, was pleased with the overall look of the little guy. He turned out pretty cool, all in all, for 5 centimeters tall. Painting this guy was going to be difficult because I knew that he was going to get darker as I painted him. the colors were going to be a lot brighter to start out with, which is always kind of what happens, but as I'm working on him, I didn't really see the exact extent of how he was going to look until I got a few layers down. I really liked the way that the colors ended up contrasting with how his size is. He looked cool being dark. Looked more like a fighter than just like a little fairy guy. I really wanted him to look like he was a moth instead of a fairy, so he was more of a fighter looking character than a happy friendly fairy, more like a warrior or something, or a wizard for the fairy kingdom or something like that. Finished it up with the glowing staff here. So this was the mini fairy fighter. He ended up turning out pretty cool. I appreciate anybody that came by and checked out my video. If you want to check out my 5 S's, these are the 5 S's here. I appreciate anybody that came by and watched me. See you next time. Thank you very much.